Today, we're talking about cancel culture. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Brian Talks Baseball, where I'm Brian and I talk about baseball. If you're new here, do me a favor, barrel up that subscribe button, leave me a like on this video, and just help me get my videos out into the world, right? I have 70 subscribers. I really want to get to 100 and then 1,000 and then 100 million, whatever. So Thom Brennaman was picked up on a hot mic. Thom Brennaman is a broadcaster for the Cincinnati Reds. He was picked up on a hot mic saying something pretty gross live on the air. Take a listen.
One of the fag capitals of the world.
Yikes. As you can imagine, it didn't take very long for the whole situation to blow up on Twitter. Before the game was over, he signed off with what was just, a masterclass of what you should not do when you make a public apology. Take a look here.
I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith.
Saying that you're a person of faith, cool, right? That's not how you should start an apology. Your faith clearly didn't stop you from making a homophobic slur. So why is that even relevant, right? Some of the most bigoted people I know would describe themselves as people of faith, right? It's probably your faith that entitled you to think that you can say something like that without any sense of consequence or repercussion, right? So again, that's not a way to start an apology. It shouldn't even be in the apology, right?
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
Without even missing a beat, he makes the home run call. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, that, I'm kind of impressed. I'm not, old habits, right?
I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to be for my bosses at Fox. I want to apologize for the people who signed my paycheck, for the Reds, for Fox Sports Ohio, for the people I work with, for anybody that I've offended here tonight.
Again, saying you're sorry if what you did or said hurt somebody, it just completely delegitimizes your apology. I'm sorry, right? You're not apologizing because what you did or said may or may not have hurt somebody. You're apologizing because what you did or said was objectively gross, right? And you're being called out for it. And this here is the cringiest part to me, because after all of this, after the mistakes that he's already made with this apology, he has the nerve now, the gall to make this about himself. Are you kidding me? You may never get to put the headset on again. No shit, my guy. Also, he has no problem apologizing to all of his bosses or all of his colleagues, right? Not just his bosses and colleagues who may have been offended, right? He makes clear that he's apologizing to all of them. But when he circles back to his general apology, right, he again doesn't apologize to everyone for what he said. He apologizes to the people who may have been hurt or offended. He can't grasp. He's completely ignorant to the weight of what he's apologizing for, the fact that he completely marginalized a group of people, but he wants to make sure to let you know that you should feel sorry for him because he may never get to put the headset on again. Come on, man.
I can't begin to tell you how deeply sorry I am. That is not who I am and never has been.
Again, this is just a classic deflection among a bunch of other deflections. You can't say that's not you when you literally just said it. It's not this isn't a tweet that was dug up from 15 years ago from when you were in high school and you said something dumb, right? This is something that you said minutes ago. They're not the same thing. You can't say, "Oh, that's not me," but also me 5 minutes ago I said this thing. That doesn't track. That doesn't align.
And I'd like to think maybe I could have some people that could back that up. I am very, very sorry, and I beg for your forgiveness. Jim Day will take you the rest of the way home.
Again, this is just a completely futile attempt at an apology by Brennaman here. Like, if I were to design some type of rubric for, how not to make a public apology, this would have gotten a perfect score. Like, honestly, like, it's that bad. Now, here's the thing. Like, I think that Brennaman was trying to be sincere. Like, I don't think he's a bad person. Like, from what I know and what I've read about him, he's, beloved by Reds fans. He's been doing it for a long time. But also, like, not to give him too much credit, I also think he's a person who has these views, may not even known that he had harmful views, right? He's probably gone his entire life and his entire career saying things like this off the cuff, right? Without any consequence, without any repercussion. And that is really the main premise behind the idea of cancel culture, as a general statement. It's not about, outcasting people who disagree with mainstream thought. That's not what it is. That's a straw man, right? It's about holding people who are in these positions of influence and have the platform and the responsibility that comes with the platform accountable for their behavior and their actions. Otherwise, we're just normalizing it, right? And that's how we end up with people like Aubrey Huff and Kurt Schilling, right? That's how we end up with those types of people when we normalize this type of behavior. So yeah, I mean, ideally, you don't want to see people lose their jobs and their livelihoods, but at the same time, we can't have people who hold these views be in these positions of influence. We can't have that. And that's why it's so important to make sure that we're checking these people when things like this come out. This is just a small part of what's keeping baseball from being as inclusive or as progressive or as expansive or as even popular as, the NBA or, even the NFL, right? Like, this is a small piece of a bigger pie, right? You can't just chalk this up to a moment of misjudgment when all it took was a hot mic and a split second to truly expose your views on, an entire group of people. You're not apologizing for the thing that you said. You're apologizing for the fact that you thought it was okay to say in the first place, and the fact that the only reason you even made the apology is, again, not because you said a thing one time. It's because you got caught. Like, that's the key thing, and that's what's completely lost on him, and that's why the response to his apology has been so critical, to be honest with you. Thankfully, the Reds came out with a statement kind of separating and distancing themselves from Brennaman and his comments, calling his comments horrific and citing zero tolerance for comments like that. And, to their credit, they pulled him out during the broadcast, but, to be honest with you, it's not enough, right? This can't just be a glorified virtue signal, right? Because again, it's not just about what he said. It's about the culture that breeds the comfortability of this type of language, right? What we should be asking, or what they should be asking instead, is who else was in the room, right? What was said right before? What was the context of the conversation? What was said right after, he said that? What was the response of the person or people that he was talking to? Is this type of language and behavior normalized in the workplace? And if what he said wasn't broadcast, would there have been the same consequence? I think we know the answer to that question. And again, that's the sad part of this whole situation, right? Anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, barrel up that subscribe button. Leave me a like on this video. I have a few more videos planned, a few more coming that will be more in the realm of sabermetrics. That will still be the heart of this channel, but I'm also passionate about the social and political issues that impact the game, because there's a lot of intersection between the two, and I think it's important for them to coexist on this channel. I think it's important that we're talking about both of these things. So with that said, guys, again, thank you for coming, and until next time, see you later, guys.